Man, as a Blazer fan, I would say I'm a little frustrated on how the front office has really been managing the roster. Granted, Scoot Henderson was probably the best pick that we could have drafted at that point. You should go into the draft to draft the best player, not for the position that you're weakest at, which traditionally the Blazers have fallen short to drafting what we needed, and that kind of just hampered us or kept us from getting the best player on the board, which traditionally results to us just being the Blazers missing out on a key component to a championship team. So this year, I think we did it right in getting the best player that was available. Now, moving forward, if you were to look at the roster construction, it is crazy because we were basically the same as last year with the exception of a few changes. So let's go with, if you look at our roster, at the 1, you have Dame. 2, you have Simons. I would hope that you would play at the 3, Sharp, and at the 4, if we resign him, Grant. At the 5, you would have Nurk. If there's any way possible the Blazers can make a come up, like you package Simons and Nurk, ship them off to the Timberwolves and go get Rudy Gobert, or you go get Cat, our roster is already better because now you're looking at Dame at the 1. 2, you probably put in Scoot Henderson, who plays like Russell Westbrook, which is something that we absolutely need. It's considering that if we had a guy like Russell Westbrook with energy, that would really keep a team on their toes. At the 3, you still have Sharp. At the 4, you can still keep Grant there. And at the 5, you would either have Cat or Rudy Gobert. I think that roster construction is already better. Granted, if you had Rudy Gobert, the pick and roll isn't necessarily going to be there, but you have defense, which is something the Blazers absolutely needed, considering that we're last 2 on the board when it comes to being a defensive team. If you have Cat, you'll be able to play the pick and roll. You have average defense, but you're able to elevate our defensive prowess. And if you have Scoot at the 2, I think Scoot would be able to take some pressure off Dame because he can go guard someone like Curry, who is getting older. So Scoot with his energy will be able to, match that skill set that Curry has. That would do wonders for us. Basically, as you're looking at it, the Blazers just need a legit big. And there aren't too many out there that can play that. I was hoping, I know this sounds crazy, but Zion would have absolutely been a piece that would have elevated the Blazers to the next level. And people are like, oh, Zion is risky. Yeah, he's risky. Everybody's risky. No matter who you get is going to be risky. But with the Blazers and their roster and who they have on it, they have Dame, who's pretty mature. They have Chauncey Billups, who's been to the chip. He knows what it looks like to be in that space of a championship-minded team. Mind you, Zion, for his rehab, was in the Portland area the whole time. So he already knows, the lay of the land. What that would also do for the Pelicans is, 1, you'd probably get Nurk. Granted, I think they have a center who's already, worthy of having that position. But you could play both of them. You can have Simons, too. And Simons, what he would do for you is give you CJ and Simons some familiarity there. They can stretch the field out. I think that's a win-win for everybody. I'm not necessarily sure if that was already pitched out there. From what I understand is we tried to send our 3rd pick, and I think Simons to the Nets for Mikal Bridges. That didn't work out. I don't know why that didn't work out, because that's actually a pretty good pickup. Because they would have had, oh my God, they could have had Scoot Henderson. They could have had Simons. That right there would have already been a pretty good backcourt. But moving forward, I think the Blazers need to get hyper aggressive with moving players, and they need to be okay. And if they're not willing to, you gotta let Dame go. And now picture this: if we let Dame go, right, and he warrants and commands the compensation of a true superstar, which would be first round draft picks and probably someone equivalent play. So could you get Zion? I think you could get Zion. Oh man, that would be lovely. Zion. You probably get some picks out of that too. Would it be a win for everybody? I think it would be a win for everybody, because for our team, we would get a guy who can play bully ball, which is something we've actually been missing. And for the Pelicans, they would get someone who can score, which is something they also need. If we were to go after AD, like send Dame to the Lakers, we got AD. That would put us through the roof at that point, because now you would take Dame, you'd send him over there. Oh my God, I would. You know what? Do it. Blazers, send Dame to the Lakers. Give us AD. That roster construction would look like at the 1, Scoot Henderson, Simons at the 2, Sharp at the 3, AD at the 4, Nurk at the 5. That right there gives you 2 legit bigs. Granted, like Nurk doesn't play that type of game, but I think if you have AD next to him, it would breathe some fire into him and give him that sort of oomph that he's been missing, because he hasn't had that in a hot minute. At the 3, Sharp is going to be the guy that I think is going to be the most untouchable player on the Blazers here shortly. And the reason being is he has all the potential in the world. He already has I think he has the highest vert in the NBA, which is 1 inch higher than Michael Jordan's. And from what I've heard, he's already grown an additional 2 inches. So he might be at 6'7", and he's already 200 pounds. He's well built. He's only 19 or 20 years old at this point. That dude can ball, and he has plenty of legs left. At the 2, you still have Simons, who can function as a 2 or a 1 at any point in time, give you some familiarity with the offense. He's a defensive liability, but that's why you got Scoot, who can play both ways. Scoot plays more or less like Russell Westbrook in comparison. A lot of energy, a lot of physical ability. He can push a guy who's smaller around or bigger. I imagine if we were to play against a well-built Stephen Curry team, he would take on Curry. He would also be able to take on Beal. You gotta be prepared for that, and I think that's what Scoot Henderson's gonna be able to do for the Blazers, is give us some sort of confidence in that position to be able to guard the top guy that they have, which would give some relief to our 2 or 1, whichever position is needing that relief. But really, I think what it comes down to when you're a Blazer fan is just accepting this is who we are. We just draft. We draft and we don't make trades, or if we do make trades, we make dumb trades. So at this point, I'm hoping that either 1, we find I'm cool, and I think everybody else is cool if we took Simons, Nurk, found a way to get a guy like Rudy Gobert, Cat, maybe even AD, I'm not sure. Or we swallow that pill, we let Dame go, and go get somebody like AD. But anyways, the draft was good for us because we drafted the top guy that was available. We did try making moves. We tried getting his boy Bridges, but that didn't work. I'm assuming that we did more than just go after one guy. It just didn't work. Maybe Dame is in a space where he's thinking let's give the Blazers till the trade deadline to really maneuver and get somebody who can help them. Or maybe during the free agency, something can happen with signing trades. I don't know, man. But either way, I'm still a Blazer fan after the draft. I'm very hopeful in the next 3 years that the Blazers are going to be in a great position. I'm just hoping that Dame gets an opportunity to really go after that chip, because he is more than deserving of that opportunity. He's been too loyal. I think the front office hasn't done enough for him, and if they have been doing something behind closed doors, it's obviously not enough, because nothing's happened. Anyways, I'm excited for the Blazers. I'm excited to see what Sharp is able to do moving into his sophomore year. I'm hoping that a healthy Nurk can do more for the team and be more aggressive. There's a lot of positives from the Blazers, I feel like. But look, everybody else is doing the same thing. Like, everybody else is reconstructing the roster. They're getting more players. They're getting this, that, and the other. And if we remain the same team that we've always been, we're not going to go anywhere. And that's where we're at. Anyways, let me know what you think. Portland Trail Blazers have potential. They only need one more piece, and I think they would be exactly where they need to be. Unfortunately, I think that might come at a cost of either one, Simons and Nurk, or Dame. Let me know what you think. Deuces.